Hello everyone, this is Bentley, and today what I wanted to do is give you a little preview into Animal House. I recently made an order and picked up some plants for Animal House, and also one other thing, some Bacter AE, in order to feed my shrimp and try some stuff out with my zebra autocyclus. And I decided to make my order through someone who I know, but I'd never ordered from, and that is Erik Lukas, and that's buypetshrimp.com. So I've paid for everything in this. Nothing was given to me. Just as some disclosure. So there's no sponsorship, nothing like that. It's just I've met Erik a couple of times. He came as a speaker to my club, the Greater Seattle Aquarium Society, and then later on when he came up for AGA, we talked quite a bit. I gave him a fairly rare crypt, which he left a note on my invoice that said, "Hey man, thanks so much for that crypt. It's propagated several times now. It's doing great," which is always awesome to hear anytime you can get a rare species out to more and more people. But I bought some boosts from him because I wanted to have some really nice smaller plants to sit in parts of my rock work and woodwork in Animal House the way that I got it pictured in my head. So let's take a look at how that was packaged, how it arrived, and then afterward we'll dive into the tank where they're temporarily sitting, which is right behind me in the 75 long, where all the party animals are hanging out for a little bit. And then finally we'll just kind of give a last little assessment on how everything showed up. Okay. Let's take a look on the box. Here on my kitchen counter, as thrilling as that is, but it's, you can see Erik Lukas, Buy Pet Shrimp, to me. I blanked out all the addresses just because I'm pretty sure the address from Erik is his business address, which he has a little showroom, which is pretty sweet. He's even got an arcade machine in it. But, just in case this one shipped from his house, I want to make sure I'm not like blasting his address everywhere. Spin this around to get this cut with this weird blade thing I have, because I can't find my box knife. So, use this weird, like, plastic tile cutting thing that is terrible for packages, but we'll do the trick. Alright. So let's first look at how it's packaged, shall we? Alright, now that we got my address thing out of the way, let's go through what's in the box. So Erik has a habit of sending high chews to people, which is so stellar because high chews are delicious. And there's like a sticker and some other like swag for his business. A little bit of insulation. Just gonna see some of the stuff I bought. So I bought some Bacter AE. Actually about 2 things of it just so that I have plenty for long term. This is for like my shrimp and my autos. And this should be the first crypt. I'm doing this one-handed because otherwise reaching around my camera is going to be weird. Or not crypt, but boosts. I ordered some boosts. What do we got here? Hopefully labeled. Oh. No way. So you can see this here. Hope you can see that color really well. I'll get shots eventually when they're in the tank, but this is called Pink Lady. You can see that bright pink leaf right there, nice red in the stem. And he had these as individuals, but you can see they're pretty big chunks. That's really nice. Let's look at the next one. You can see Sharpie all over my finger, it's blurred. Ah, yeah, here we go. Big old chunk. This is called Narcissus Blue. And these are all going into Animal House, by the way. This is the Narcissus Blue. And then the previous one was the Pink Lady. I want to see the backs of these leaves. Look at that. That bright pink color there. Nice kind of pinkish red. And these are all going into Animal House. And then this is the last one here, I think. There might be one more. thought I only ordered 3, but it feels like there's a little bit more. Oh yeah. This is the other one I've been really looking forward to. So this is called Big Leaf. Get a little farther back. Like, you can see the size of the leaves. It's got these bigger, longer leaves to it. Nice bright green. Got a good set of chunks. And you'll notice he puts little bits of ceramic media in here with everything. That's a cool idea. This thing, I think this is just the bottom. So say I don't think I ordered anything on. No. All right. So there you go. We'll get these in a tank and we'll take a look at them. All right, so here we are looking in the tank, and temporarily they're just hanging out in the 75 long, so you guys are used to this tank. And you can see the Narcissus Blue and the Pink Lady to the right. We'll get a different shot of the Pink Lady in a sec, but you can see from the top of those leaves that faint kind of blue iridescence over the green, and that's why this is called Narcissus Blue. At certain angles, you're going to see this nice blue tone that comes in. Otherwise, just a super cool leaf shape, that kind of crinkly Belinde, if you're really familiar with your Buce leaf shape. Really neat, really cool plant. I'm really happy with how this came in. I'm really looking forward to going with it. Let's take a look closer at the Pink Lady, and then we'll go to the Big Leaf. Here we are with the Pink Lady, and as you can see now with the light in the tank and being in the water, you can see how pinkish red those stems are, and the back of the leaves are very similar. You can see hints of it from some of the leaves down over here, but mostly you see those big green leaves, these long, tall stems. I'm really looking forward to this plant just kind of standing out, being something that pops and is really obvious, where it makes you go, ooh, what is that? When it comes inside of the tank. I want all the Buce to kind of be like that, but this is the one where I really want this is like the kind of the super neat Easter egg kind of plant that's inside that tank. Let's go take a look now over at the Big Leaf. And finally, here we are looking at the Buce Big Leaf. Now, you might be like, the leaves are smaller than Pink Lady. Why is it called Big Leaf? If you look, right? You can look at my finger here, just to give you an idea of the size of the leaves, and you can see the rainbows zipping through it. But compared to normal, like green wavy and some of the standard green Buce, you'll notice the leaves are probably double, almost triple the sizes of some of those more common Buce. And that's why it's called Big Leaf. It's not that it has really huge leaves, but just compared to the standard Buce of this type where it's more green, you get a little bit of that kind of fleckle pattern depending on light and how it's growing, but otherwise it's more just a bright green plant. This has a very big leaf compared to most of those. So this is going to be the one that we're going to have in a lot of the rocks, maybe around some wood. It's going to be a little more predominant because we've got a really nice good sized cluster of this to start with, to spread around, to let grow out. And then something like the Pink Lady or the Narcissus Blue are going to be some of our kind of like highlight plants when it comes to the smaller epiphyte plants. So I hope you're looking forward to that. That's going to be part of, like, I guess a spoiler of what's coming for Animal House as I'm getting some of the last preparations done in order to build the tank itself. We've seen the plants. We saw everything was packaged, which is very, very nicely, very well wrapped, where each set of Buce was individually wrapped in a Ziploc bag, nice and simple, nothing too crazy. But you'll notice like he had put those little ceramic rings in, where each piece of Buce was temporarily glued to those as weights, so that they just fell right down in the tank right over here. And it's off camera, but right there, basically behind me in this area of the tank to my side here, and there's some right over here behind me too. That was actually one of the smarter ways that I've seen Buce or like a Nubius ever show up that was not a tissue culture, that had been cultivated by a hobbyist, or in this case, like Erik was a hobbyist at first, opened his own business. He's got this cool little gallery down in California where you can go check out his shrimp and some of the Buce that he does. He's got arcade machines there. It's a pretty cool place. He's also got a YouTube channel. I'll link it at the end of this video, just in case you want to check it out. He does some real shorts, just kind of shows off shrimp that he's got around. I sincerely hope, Erik, if you're watching this, I want to see you dive a little more into YouTube, man. Just teach people about shrimp. You know so much, especially Caradinas and the stuff that you work with, or like how to grow Buce really well, because you're an absolute master at Buce, significantly better than I am, just judging by what showed up to me. And I've been really thrilled with my purchase. Like, I think that how things have been defined, they're bigger than how in my head I picture them. So when I've received them, I've been getting more than what I expected. Especially that pink lady. That boost just looks incredible. Those huge, tall leaves, those pink stems, a beautiful kind of pinkish red back of the leaf. Man, when that stuff's all settled in, it's going to look dynamite, I think. I mean, it looks great, and it's been in a package for a few days and not in a tank. So I think it's going to look absolutely stellar once I've got it settled into the new animal house. So yeah, just kind of a wrap up. I'm really impressed. I think the prices were pretty good. For some people, you might think that Boost is a little expensive, and I totally get that. But for what I paid for it, I feel like I got really good amounts of plants for each of these not very common species. The probably the most common is the big leaf, and that was cheaper than, like, say, the pink lady. The pink lady was the most expensive of the three, but that's also the one where, like, just in the bag, not pulling it out, I was like, yeah. I didn't vocalize it all that well, but like, man, I was excited. Like, it looks great, and I know I can see what it's going to be like in my tank, a month or two down the line when it's settled in, it's grown in, and it's sitting there between a bunch of rocks and wood and popping out as this accent plant, just looking amazing. I cannot wait. So that has me super excited. So if you've ever considered, just for me knowing him and talking to him, he's a super nice dude, full of information, tons and tons of information, especially if you want to try like Caridina shrimp, so like your crystal reds and all those real fancy, harder to keep shrimp. That's what he really specializes in, and he knows that stuff super, super well. He carries all sorts of really awesome products like the Bacter AE that I picked up. And I think he's got a pretty reasonable deal on shipping because, orders of shrimp get expensive fast when you're doing super high quality shrimp like he carries, and his shipping becomes free relatively quickly. So if you're looking for sustainably grown boosts, because he does all the stuff himself, he'll get like one cutting and then just slowly grow it all out, and he only sells what he grows. At least that has been my experience if it's not a common tissue culture. He does carry some tissue culture plants too, if I recall correctly from when we talked at AGA. He might have changed that, I'm not sure, but he carries a lot of really cool stuff. And of course, some amazing shrimp. That's buypetshrimp.com, just if you want to check out his website or check out his YouTube channel. I'm going to have a link to it at the end of this video. That's it. I just kind of want to show you guys a little peek. I know this is like a short video and you're waiting for something a little more juicy, but I just kind of want to show you some of the things that interest me, especially given that my time and experience with plants, like the things that I look for in the way that my brain thinks about them. So like the pink lady is definitely there to be this big accent of small plants. Like I want to have accents and just stuff that's more subtle where you kind of have to look for it, versus just like the big, like huge pieces of Java fern that I intend to have in the tank, like some of the stuff that's, growing out over here in the tank or what have you. I want those like big, obvious pieces of Java fern, but then I want like little kind of Easter eggs that you can look around for and find. Then you go, ooh, what is that? Or ooh, what is that? That I want that kind of feeling where it's like, oh, what's this thing over here? That's the kind of feeling I want when I build a tank that's a little more showy, a little more designed to be display oriented and pretty. I'm trying to go a little harder core, or more out there with this tank in the sense of a little more aquascaped, a little more in depth, and not as simple as most of my setups are, but still make it relatively easy maintenance. That's another key. So I'm really looking forward to that tank. I've got some other plants that are floating over here. I guess I have to do it like this because otherwise my arm goes off camera, but they're floating over on this side of the tank over here that I got from another friend and one from my club, including like a super rare Stargine species. I'm not sure if all of those are going into Animal House, but I know that a couple of the plants that are there are going into Animal House. Specifically, some of them are designed just to emerge out of the water and be those plants that pop out of the tank and come all the way out of the tank at the top. That's just something that you guys know I've been really into. And when I'm setting up a tank, now I'm purposely thinking of plants to do that when I'm setting up something that's a little more display oriented, but also big enough to long-term be the house for the party animals here. That's it, guys. I just wanted to do that quick little thing, let you see like what it's like when certain retailers that I buy from, how they ship things, how things arrive, just to give you an idea. Like, this is a pretty quality seller. Things arrived in really great shape, and this is just plants. If we were doing shrimp, it would probably arrive quite a bit differently, but just give you an idea compared to maybe other places out there, or maybe you're just looking for a good place. You're a little more conscious about how some retailers might not care about how they keep the environment of some of the booths that's out there sustained, where Erik does. So I really appreciate that kind of stuff, and I hope you do too. If you're interested in more content like this, or maybe you'd like to, I don't know, just have me do something more about Buce itself, just overall as a plant species, let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear what you guys have to think. If you enjoyed this kind of look at a couple of the plants and how my brain clicks when it starts thinking about building a tank, give me a little thumbs up, hit the like button, just nice little taps, little tappy tap. If you're like tired of listening to me babble, or you think I'm shilling for a company that I just paid a decent chunk of money to buy stuff from, you can hit that thumbs down. I understand. Make sure you hit it twice though, because just once isn't enough. You got to hit it twice. If you're new to this channel and you haven't already, consider giving me a little subscribe and go ahead and ring the notification bell. That way you can make sure you see all the videos. We have a weekly video as well as all sorts of other content that comes up on the community tab, occasional live streams, stuff like that. So don't miss out. Make sure you've got that notification bell hit. Thank you so much for watching, and stay awesome.